Hi Annika, I was thinking on what you wrote to me that you want to see some signs, writing messages from God. And that did remember me on a story I heard from in India from a man who survived the flooding. And he was telling the story about that there was a man who lived in a nice street near the river, beautiful house, and he believed in God very strongly. And one day, when in the monsoon the river began to rise, finally the water entered to his door and it came higher and higher. And he was thinking, what should I do? Well, he was thinking, I'm trusting in God and He will save me. And people were knocking on his door. There was a truck and you couldn't almost walk anymore through the water. So there was a truck and people asked him, can you come on board? And he said, well, I'm fine here. I trust that God will help me. And days passed by and the water came higher and higher. So he had to go from the first to the second floor. And now a boat was coming through his street and they came to his window and said, well, come on, jump in the boat. We bring you to a safer ground. And the man said, well, I'm trusted. My trust is somewhere else, so I stay here, I'm okay. And he was really thinking that God would help him. Days passed by and the water got higher and higher. And finally the man was sitting at a roof and there was a helicopter. And they were asking him, come on board. And the man said, no, I'm staying here, I'm okay. I trust in God and He will help me, don't worry. And finally the water came that high that the man drowned. And when he drowned, he passed away and he was entering to heaven and walked up to God and said, well, God, why didn't you help me? I'm trusting so much in you. I'm doing everything what you want to survive and to live. And God said, you have to think about all the effort I did to bring a truck to your door and then the boat. And imagine what kind of effort I had to do to get a helicopter to your rooftop. And all 3 times you ignored my signals to come on board. This was a story that a guy told me and I had to think about what you were writing and things that's ongoing in my head. So I hope you have something out of the story. Have a great Sunday.